Hi YouTube, it's Beantown Babes. Been a long time since I've been on here. But I wanted to come back on, start my channel back up. Because I know last time I had a little different of a platform. My platform was more about trying to get pregnant. And so I did not end up getting pregnant. I ended up just kind of taking a break from that and going back to school. So I was LVN at the time. I decided to go back to a LVN to BSN program, and I finished that last year. And now I'm working, and I was working before, but now I'm working as just got a new job as a RN, and kind of just gonna do an update on life, do some videos about what's going on with me. I just got accepted to 2 FNP programs, and I am about to apply to a few more because I think after really thinking about it, I want to go on a different track. I don't want to do family nurse practitioner. I want to do adult gerontology acute care nurse practitioner. So I want to go that track instead of going the family nurse practitioner track. I know most of my experience has been in psych and, little med surge, skilled nursing, things like that. But I get bored easy. I like fast pace. I like digging my teeth into cases and, kind of figuring out what's going on with the person. That like monotonous type of everyday things. Like right now, I love my clients, love my coworkers, but it's a long-term care facility that deals with psychiatric behavioral problems. And so we see the same thing every day. But sometimes my people have all these different things going on with them. And it kind of enthralls me to like get into the pathophysiology of everything. Because that's why I went into nursing in the first place. I like pathophysiology. So when we have stuff that comes up and I end up having to talk to the doctors and all these different specialists about things, and it interests me. So I don't think I'm someone who kind of wants to be with the daily monotonous stuff. I kind of want to see different cases. So that's kind of where I feel like I need to go into the whole adult gerontology acute care. And that decision did not come lightly because I actually have started the FNP program. And I was did my financial aid, did everything. And one thing I always say in this world is don't do things to please other people. You can't be afraid to change or whatever because, what are people going to think about me or blah, 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 blah. I try to live by that mantra. And so I'm sure this is going to look bipolar-ish, to some of my friends. I have my own little words that I make, or some of my professors who were cheering me on to get into this FNP program. And they're going to like, oh my God, you change one way, you go this way, but I also feel like I'm in my late 40s. I don't have time to, let me just finish this program and then I'll get the certification, a separate certification afterwards, and then another certification. I don't have time for all that. Like, let's just get in the program, start doing what we like doing. Not saying, after I finish these 2 or 3 years, I'll go back again for another year or two to do a separate certification. Why don't I just pump the brakes right now and go to where I really want to be? Why stretch something out for 5 years, 6 years that could have been done in 3 years or 2 years even, when I'm not a spring chicken. I'm not a kid, and I think sometimes when people give us this advice, they do it thinking about their situation, and that's fine. Think about your situation. But my situation is a little different. Like, I'm single. I pay my own bills. For me, like saying I'm just going to school for 6 years and not work and blah 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 is not working. I need to work to pay these bills. Like, I can't just work. I mean, I can't just go to school full time and that be it. So I had to make decisions upon what was working for me specifically, not what works for everyone else. Even when I first started talking about doing the acute care, I'm on blogs and stuff, and I'm telling people I'm interested in doing critical care, ICU, stuff like that. And they're like, well, do you have experience in that? Some nurses are like, do you have experience in that? And I was like, no, I don't have a lot of experience in that, but I was very interested in my clinicals. And all my friends who are ICU nurses are like, you really like challenges. Like, I think you do good in that. And I'm like, oh, okay. So when something burns on your heart and it's like, that's what my passion is, that's what interests me, why would you go do other things because other people think, oh, you shouldn't do that? So what I was getting from ICU nurses that don't know me, that were like, oh, well, unless you have like 5 years of ICU experience, I don't even think you should be trying to even go into that track. Just do the FMP like you're doing and go back to school and do the other track, the specialized track, after you get about 3 to 4 years under your belt of ICU. And I'm like, okay, well, again, why would I waste all that money doing something to say that, oh, I'm just going to go do the other track after I finish? Like, why? I could see if I was like 2 years in the program, or even halfway finished. I'm not. I'm at the beginning. Why would I keep going and pay for a whole degree and then go back? It doesn't make sense. So sometimes when you listen to people's advice, think about how it affects you, your pockets, your money, your family. People always have their own thought process. And so what my channel is going to be about is talking about what's going on with me, being real, how I made it through the BSN program. Because, girl, it was annoying. It was nerve-wracking. It has caused me to have situations going on in my mental health that, so that's just how it is as a nurse. So I kind of want to make some videos about those things. How to, one big one is, how to maximize that LVN license as well. I did pretty good as an LVN, let me tell you. I made 6 figures. I was a manager. I've been clinical specialist. I have done a lot because even as an LVN, before I went back to school for my BSN, I was always studying stuff, and I like to critically think through things. I took that very seriously when they talk about nurses critically thinking. And so, I always don't try to look at the task. I'm not a task rabbit. Like, oh, I'm only doing this every day. No, I need to challenge my mind. So I did pretty well as an LVN. And I think to myself, I was like, I went as far as I can go right now. So that's why I went back for my BSN. And, I'm pretty ambitious. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about making choices about your NP, some of the pitfalls you run into in your nursing programs, and how to, honestly boss up on situations where sometimes teachers, coworkers, friends, family members are like, oh, I don't know if you can make it through this or do this. And sometimes you have to be like, you don't think I can make it through this. You don't think this is the best way to go for me. Now, I'm not saying don't take sage advice. Don't get me wrong, because trust me, when someone gives me sage advice, I go for it. What I am saying is, though, that sometimes people put their own limitations from their life onto you. And that's when you have to kind of discern and be able to, yes, discern. Kind of weed it out and figure out, where is this coming from? Is it coming from their crap? Is it coming from their, is it coming from their pitfalls that they've run into and that they felt like held them back? Because my pitfall, a pitfall for you might not be a pitfall for me. A pitfall that's for me might be something that's like, oh, that's nothing to you. Like, so you have to look at things like that and, just kind of boss up on your life. And so that's kind of what my whole thing is going to be about, like bossing up on what's going on with you at the time. So whether it be school, whether it be relationship, whether it be anything, basically. So I hope you tune in, go on this ride with me. My video's getting kind of long, so I'm going to cut it here, but also probably going to make the one about the ambition today as well. So anyways, stay tuned, enjoy my ride, see what's going on.